Hi, David Urbaski here from the.diywebsite.com, and I'm here to show you today how to set up SMTP to work with your WordPress website. If you have a WordPress website, you know probably how frustrating it can be sometimes to get your email. Sometimes the emails take forever, sometimes they don't come at all, and this is a good way to resolve it. But if you've ever tried to set up SMTP on your own, you realize just how difficult the process can actually be. Well, the good news is GoDaddy provides a really simple way to get SMTP set up for your WordPress website without the need to really have to do a whole lot of extra steps. And all you have to do is create a workspace email account that's free and comes free with your web hosting with GoDaddy. If you have deluxe Linux hosting, you get a free email account. And then you would go over to your WordPress website, install a plugin called EasyWP SMTP, and you'll be able to get going. So to get started, we'll have to log into our GoDaddy account and go down to Workspace Email and click Manage. And once you go into your Workspace Email, you just have to click the button that says Create One Now. Now on your screen it may look a little bit different. If you've never set up any email accounts with GoDaddy before, you're going to have to select your region, which should say cPanel 100 megabytes US in most cases, or if you're in a different region of the world, you would select the region that most applies to you. Then you would go down and select the domain name that you want to use. In most cases, you're only going to get one option, and that's going to be the primary domain on the account. So once you've selected that and hit create, you're going to be taken to a screen that looks like this. So here, all we have to do is type in the email address we want to create. So we've got that. We're going to set up a password. We're going to confirm it. We're going to agree to the terms, and then we're going to create. And that's going to be the first step in getting our custom email set up. Now you don't want to use this as your business email. You just don't want to do it because they're only going to give you 100 megabytes for free with your hosting plan. If you try to use this for professional purposes, that 100 megabytes is going to get filled up pretty quickly. And once it gets filled up, the only way to get more space is to buy more from GoDaddy, and it can get expensive. So what I usually use my free email account with GoDaddy for is to just do the SMTP that we're trying to set up, and for nothing else. I only use it to route emails from my website through GoDaddy's SMTP server to the target email address that I want. Now in a few momentarily, we're going to see that thought bubble turn into this alert. We need to click on it, and this is where you want to watch out. So you're going to have to, in order for this to work, you're going to have to reconfigure my MX records to use Workspace Email. This is only going to be a problem if you currently have your MX records to work with an external provider. Like say I have a domain that I use for my email, and say it's set up to work with Yahoo Small Business. Okay, if you try to reconfigure your MX records to work with GoDaddy, which you would need to do in order for this process to complete, it's going to override any custom MX record settings that you may have. And when it does that, it's going to seriously mess up your current email configuration. So only check this box if you use like Gmail for email, or AOL.com for email, or some other email, and you don't have like a custom domain as your email address. So if you don't have any of that, I would just hit save and then continue. Now it says it's going to take up to 48 hours for this to finish, and I've seen it take as long as 6 to 8 hours. So this is not going to be a quick process. Please keep that in mind. You should get an email from GoDaddy saying that your email has been fully set up. And when you get that email, that's when you'll know that you can go through step 2 of the process, which is actually configuring your SMTP information on your WordPress website. So the next step is to log into your WordPress website, and as you can see, we've already done that. So we've gone to our domain and typed wp-admin, and we've gotten the login screen. We've entered our username and password, and now, just to show you, we're on the plugins page. We've installed the plugin EasyWP SMTP. The way we would search for it is by going to plugins, add new, and searching for Easy SMTP right here. And the one that we wanted, the one that we used, is this one, EasyWP SMTP, published by WP e-commerce. It's really the easiest one to use, and I really like it. When we installed it, we clicked Install Now and then Activate. And then we have to go to our Settings menu down here where it says Settings. And if we hover over it, we can see the Settings flyout menu. And if you go down here, you'll see that we've got Easy WP SMTP, and we want to click on it so that we can configure it. So now in Easy WP SMTP, what we've done is we've typed in here from the from email address. This is the email address that you tell users the email is from. So if I get an email from the website, it's going to say from info@imaginaryrestaurant.com. That's what that means. The from name is the name that you want people to see. So the email comes to your email box. Where does it come from? You could put your name, the name of your business, or you could put your name, whichever you choose. Because we're working with GoDaddy, we need to have a very specific address typed in here. And that's SMTP out, all one word, .secureserver.net. That's what we need to do. SMTP out.secureserver.net. That's all we type in here. Type of encryption is none. We don't want to use SSL, TLS, any of that because it's going to cause problems. We just want to say none. The SMTP port is 80 for GoDaddy, not 25 or some other crazy number. It's just 80. SMTP authentication, we have to check yes. And then the SMTP username we're going to say is the email address that we just created over here. So if you go back to your GoDaddy email address that you're creating, right now you'll see what the email address is called. And then if you tab back to your WordPress, you would just copy that and put that in there. Your SMTP password is the same password you created here. So really not rocket science, not that hard. Once you've keyed in your SMTP password, you would hit Save Changes. And then after your email address is finished setting up and you get that email from GoDaddy, you can actually test to see if it went through by in the to line putting an email address and just put an email address, and the subject would just be like test, message is test, and then you would click send a test email. If it went through, you would see message sent or mail sent or something like that. If it did not go through, you're going to see this error. And usually the most common reason why you would see this error is because this thing isn't finished setting up. So if you follow these instructions to the letter, and you've done everything right, and you double check, you know you've done everything right, and you still get this error, you just have to wait until you get that email from GoDaddy and then try to test it again. And once you test it successfully, it'll go, you'll see like a message success or something like that, and the email will appear in the inbox that you've specified here in the to field. So that's really all there is to it. It's really not rocket science. It's pretty easy actually, and it will, once you figure this out, it will save you so much frustration, so many headaches, and you'll be good to go. So thanks for watching, guys, and have a fantastic afternoon.